Hi guys, take two. Let's see if I can get this going here this time and not break down. My system, unfortunately, had broken down and I didn't get to do my story, so I'm going to start over again. Just give me a second. Of course, I'm going to bring up again my new coffee cups I got for free. And I am reading from The Surreal Life of the Eccentric Uncle, which is my book, sold at my publisher at www.rosedogbookstore.com. Okay, now, just a second here. Let me just move this over and see where I'm at. There we go. All right. Now let me go ahead and begin. All right. Fingers crossed. And let's go ahead and begin. I'd like to begin my story by introducing to you my first boyfriend, Shawn. And if he was here, he'd be delighted to meet you as well. I know you'd like him. Now it's time to share with you my story of him. I was sure lucky meeting him, as I was in the right place at the right time. The stars were aligned for us to meet, and fate was on our side. He treated me very well, and we complemented each other very nicely. We were extremely compatible, and I must admit, we really looked good together. Every day was a great day having Shawn in my life. At that time of my life, he was my destiny. He was my one and only, or so I thought. "1983, Fresno, California. Let me paint a picture for you about my first partner, Shawn, and his sweet and soulful heart, and those qualities are hot in my book. He was a pretty boy, and you know what? He never acted snobby or with attitude. He was approachable and receptive, which are qualities that everyone should practice. I must tell you that pretty people are quite pleasant to look at. He had a slim figure with an enchanting look to him. He was an inspiring model, and I thought he was quite good. Though what did I know? I was not a model or as pretty. Like Shawn, people always gravitated toward me, and I had all the invites. He had the looks, and I had the high energy, which made us a great recipe for an inspiring young couple. But this was about Shawn and my relationship with him, on how it began, in addition to how successful we were in the short time we had together. We met while shopping for clothes at Fashion Fair Mall at Weinstock's, and we were on the same rack and looked up and saw each other. And I thought, whoa, who is this incredibly nice-looking man that I can't keep my eyes off? All I thought was he was really cute. You know, let me upgrade from cute to hot. And he made my juices boil, a feeling I'd never felt before. If you've never had the experience, that's too bad, because there's nothing more incredible. I hope everyone has the opportunity to have love at first sight. My song, The Look of Love by ABC, my tip: intrigue begins with physical attraction. Fascination continues with conversation. Desire is when you want to eat him up. Can it be? Really? Love at first sight? For me? I never knew what that meant until that very moment. God, yes, and I'm really liking it. My eyes widened like deer in headlights. My palms became clammy. My heart went pitter patter, and the pounding in my chest was going thump, thump, thump. Now put all that together, and what do you get but a burning sensation of love? Was it intrigue? fascination, or desire. How can I love someone I didn't even know? I don't know, since I've never been in love before. With Shawn, I was addicted to love, and who better to sing it but Robert Palmer. That tingling sensation began to run all over my body, and then it happened. That nervous anxiety we all get when love enters your heart kicked in full force. If you haven't had it, I hope one day you will, because it's the best sensation to feel, think, and reciprocate. I have your answer to the question above. It is all three. I was intrigued by his presence, I was fascinated by his words, and with both of those, I then desired him. My song, Can't Help Falling in Love, UB40, and my tip, listen to the signs of love and follow your heart. As we were chatting away, I became tongue twisted and stuttered away, and to my surprise, the encounter turned out just fine. It was one conversation that felt like we knew each other for years, even though I had acted incoherently. I'm sure he had the similar feeling. Hey, the point was we ended up together. Here's a bit of description of him. He was 5'10", same as me. He has both brown eyes and hair. The difference was that he parted his hair on the right and mine on the left. He had the sweetest face and a winning smile, and those perfectly white, straight teeth. I do have to mention his puppy dog eyes. Those eyes bred honesty, authenticity, and sincerity, which put together, the word I used for him was truism. Those eyes and smile are what sold me. His voice was dulcet, soothing, and comforting. Essentially, all of him won me over. His smell was so invigorating, where I still have that smell in my mind even today. I also have to mention his butt, since it was kind of nice. You tell me what young fellow doesn't have a perky coochie. I had no problems walking behind him, and that view was notable. Maybe he should have been a butt model instead. I'd buy the product he modeled. Sold! I just have one question. Is the packaging included? My song, So Beautiful, Darren Hayes, and my tip, what about you that makes your true love tick? We immediately connected as boyfriends. He was 18, I was just 19. This was our first relationship for the both of us. I think this was what allowed us to survive together strong and without any conflict. We moved in right away together and settled in his apartment in the town of Lemoore, a military town, which was about 30 miles south of Fresno. His place became our place. This was momentous, as that was our first relationship and the first time we each lived with a partner. This was our first test of our relationship to see if we were compatible, but it wasn't the last. 2 more challenges. The last happened at the end of our time together, which will be brought up soon. I will say it was groundbreaking and amazing. Everything was new and exciting. Nothing could go wrong on this relationship trip, but one thing. Test number 2. He happened to have a roommate, and once he saw us together, he decided to move out immediately so I could occupy the premises. He was a nice man, and I don't think I ever thanked him for getting out of our way. If he did stay, I believe problems would have arisen. We both really wanted our own space together without a third wheel. This was reason number 2. We never fought, argued, or after thinking about it, nothing over anything, and we cooperated well together. Since we cohabitated well, I knew that we were the perfect couple. I was headstrong and he was content, but it worked for us. We just hung out by ourselves, cuddling, chit-chatting, and watching TV and watch television. We basically were just enjoying learning about each other. With that said, we were inseparable. He didn't have, we didn't have much means to do really anything else. He was easy to be around, and I felt safe. Trust is a great word I can use describing him. He was my first love. Here, innocent love was where we learned who we were as gay people. I loved him more every day that came our way. I was a very lucky young man to find such a warm and delightful partner who I was able to get to know who he was, including his quirks. I'm just grateful he had the same response with me. My song, Digging Your Scene, The Blow Monkeys, and my tip, partners who have faith in each other will equally have trust. My first earthquake was the Kalinga earthquake that hit on May 2nd, 1983, and is discussed under the section Mother's Wrath. That glorious sunny day, both Shawn and I were outside enjoying chores. He was doing whatever modeling stuff he was doing, and I was cleaning my car inside and out. While I was inside my car, shining it up, I felt shaking, rattling, and rolling. My car began to move forward kind of fast. At first, I thought it was my honey was playing with me by shaking things up, but when I looked up, he was too busy and focused on his stuff. I jumped out I jumped out and the ground shook, and I tried to keep my balance. It didn't faze Shawn at all. Well, guess what? I just had my first experience with an earthquake, and it happened right here with my partner. How sweet. I looked at Shawn with mesmerizing awe, not believing that the miracle of love knocked at my door. I opened it up and invited love in. Our relationship was comforting, exciting, and rewarding. He taught me kindness without attitude. Even today, I can still smell him, taste him, feel him, hear him, and I still have dreams of him. I believe he was my soulmate and best friend. I call him my everlasting gobstopper, and he will be a part of me until the very end. We were together for a little over a year until we had the misfortune needing to go our separate ways. That relationship fell way too short for my calling. This relationship went way too fast and with unresolved issues, or with unresolved closure. Shawn, I knew you felt the same way on how we separated on these unforeseen circumstances. I never had love at first sight again, and I must tell you that it's the most incredible love ever to experience. I hope it comes your way one day. It was sad that I lost touch with him and often thought about him. I'm curious how he is doing today. Thank you, Shawn, for showing me what trust, kindness, and love at first sight was, as well as keeping me safe, secure, all with the sanctuary I needed. It was joyous growing together with this being our first relationship as one. I couldn't ask for a better person to be my first partner. When you were in my life, I felt that I was on top of the world, and I do absolutely appreciate you allowing me in your life, Shawn. I love you and miss you very much. My song, You Are My World by Communards, and my last tip, be kind. It's an attractive feature and is infectious. You guys, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. Peace out.